Good afternoon, everybody. We're currently in Milford, New Jersey, heading home from a long weekend. Started as our trip to the Poconos to go cover the State of the Nation conference and the election dinner, and then we headed to the Princeton field hockey game today, and you had to do some quick work stuff, and then now we're headed home. So I just wanted to hop on and let everybody know we survived the weekend. We're dragging a bit, but it's a beautiful day. Colors are nice, so I figured we'd go along the river, see if the colors look any better than they did a few weeks ago. I think that's the last time we did it. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Maybe? Not sure.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think. It was, the Lafayette game, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Because this past weekend we didn't go to Yale or UConn. So yeah, must have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they had a road trip. This is the narrow road north of Milford, New Jersey, along the Delaware. Got the railroad and the river and some cliffs. So we got a few miles of narrow road. Too narrow to paint lines on it, right?
Yeah, it's more like a super fat wide lane.
That means you can drive wherever you want. There's no lines on it.
Yeah. Hey, American girl. How's it going?
Thank you for your help this weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much for everything.
And yes, we're still surviving here.
How was today? Well, we woke up. We got to sleep in an hour later than yesterday, so that was nice. So we got up at 7:45 instead of 6:30. Breakfast was delicious. And then found out that our one tire is a little low, so we had to check that out. But thankfully, filling it up with air, it seems to be holding, so.
Look at this rock hanging over the road here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we're a bit too tired to do anything on the trip this morning.
Yeah, we just weren't really up to live streaming on the way to the game. The colors were gorgeous, though. So I kind of regret not doing it, but we were just dragging.
Yeah, we would not have been much conversation.
It would have been more like the silent drive.
You finally fell asleep for a while.
Yeah, I did. You kept saying, "Are you falling asleep on me?" And then I thought, the next time I woke up, I'm like, "Oh shoot, we're only like 15 minutes away from the game."
Yeah, we were still on Route 22. Hadn't gotten to 206, I think, before you were fading out.
Yeah.
So you slept through that whole stretch.
I was tired. I'm still tired. She said, "My pleasure." I wish, though, you guys could have been there for the Patriot parachuters. Oh, I know. It sounded really, really cool.
Yeah, I think we would have been dragging. It really hit us pretty hard.
Like, when we first got up and got breakfast, we felt pretty good. And then by the time we got the car loaded and then on the road after, getting gas and putting air in the tire, we just kind of felt, like we got the heat running in the car because it was chilly this morning. It was in the 40s. And then got the heat running in the car, and I think that's kind of what made us tired.
Yeah, I think that put you to sleep.
Yeah. I went in a cat nap coma from the heat. Oh, you videotaped it? Yeah, I'd love to see that. That'd be really cool. It didn't happen until about 1 o'clock. Yeah, see, that would have conflicted with our event. Yeah, it was a big week. A long day yesterday. The game today was at noon, so it was a rough game, though. I mean, we managed to scrape by a 1-0, but it should have been a lot more goals than that. But the goalie for Dartmouth had an amazing day.
Check this out.
She made a lot of saves. Yeah, look at these rocks. These are so cool.
How narrow the road is through here.
I know. I feel like it's like horse and drawn buggy days, That's awesome. There's water running down the rock.
We did go through the Delaware Water Gap today on Route 80. That was I don't know if I've ever gone that way, so it was kind of neat. We've gone up Route 611 on the Pennsylvania side quite a few times, but I don't recall going 80, going east before, so that was fun.
Yeah, it was something different.
We headed south through Newfoundland and then over to Mount Pocono and then down 611, a little stretch to get on to 80. And once we got into New Jersey, we took 46 for a little ways to 31, and then 31 south until we got to 22 and 78. So it was different, a different ride, which was kind of neat.
She said, "Yikes!" Well, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was narrow.
Yeah, you don't want to meet a lot of cars through there. It wasn't too bad. See how all those tight cliffs, and all of a sudden now it opens up.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
I guess what we got on our left is a lot of floodplain.
Well, I'm glad you were able to see the parachuters because I know you really wanted to see that. So that's awesome.
There were a number of people who were wondering if we were going to go. I think they were disappointed that we weren't.
Yeah.
But I think we would have been dragging to do the festival today.
Yeah. My legs are really bothering me.
You got to see some of our favorite players from 10 years ago.
Yeah, which was really cool. So that was awesome.
10 years ago, the Princeton field hockey team won the national championship, and so they had a special event for them today. So
they acknowledged them at halftime, and then afterwards they had a special catered lunch that everybody was invited to. So we were able to say hi to the players, which was cool.
It was about, what, you say 10, 12 players maybe came back?
Yeah, which is pretty good. So.
And they all remembered you.
Oh, yeah. The one asked me if I moved any closer yet. Because she remembered that we had a 2-hour drive to go to the games. She's like, "Did you move to Princeton yet to watch the games?" I said, "I wish." It's like still a 2-hour drive, but it's worth it.
Sorry for a little glary. Looks like we could use another wash on the windshield.
Hi, Ethan. Aw, Polish Agnes sent you over? That's cool. Well, welcome.
Hey, we were watching her for a little bit this afternoon.
She was in Ontario in the convoy with the Canadians and the Americans. So it was really cool.
Yeah, are they convoying together in Ontario right now? Is that what they're doing?
I think they were convoying together for a rally. I'm not sure if the rally was at Niagara Falls or if that's where they were starting. I'm not 100% sure. I know she was going live last night around 1:30 in the morning to head to Niagara Falls. So.
It's like, where is she? And we're looking, and there's a roadside. It says, maximum 60. It's like 60, and it's like a little windy two-lane road. It's like, 60 kilometers an hour. They must be in Canada.
Ethan says they do it every weekend. Oh, wow.
Well, that's neat.
I didn't know they do it every weekend. That's cool.
So we're joining forces this weekend. You were telling me there was a flag you saw that said something about the fringe?
Yeah, it says "We the Fringe," and I figured out what the red symbol was. It was the maple leaf.
Ah.
Because at one point they had to stop, and the flag stopped flying, so I could actually read it. And then the Polish Agnes actually put her camera out the window, so I could see the curve of the convoy behind her, which was really cool. Because the person behind her has what looked like the front of their hood. I don't know if it was painted or if it was like a flag for their hood. The Canadian flag is their hood, which was really cool. It really reminded me of the convoy that we did with the People's Convoy. And seeing the different people waving and honking as they drove by, that was neat.
Soup Mama update too.
Yeah, Soup Mama was stranded in Virginia, and they're building the bridge to help get the reefer out now, so that's cool. So hopefully she'll get out tonight or tomorrow at the latest. Because they were doing a big event in Virginia last weekend, and the hurricane took out the bridge that the reefer truck could drive over, but not the covered bridge that regular vehicles could drive over. So she was stuck with the reefer there that they were renting for the event.
Bad timing, for sure. Still a lot of green trees here. The colors are definitely getting nice in the Poconos.
Yeah. I was wondering if they had gotten a little nicer over here since 2 weeks ago, but it looks like it's still a little green.
There's a few things that are turning red. You see those trees? The tops of them are turning red over there.
Yeah.
I know you can't see it on the camera, but to our left there was some that I saw.
Ethan says they started in the falls and then they traveled to a rally. Okay, that's really cool. American Girl says, yeah, today was important for you guys, and the speakers today were the same as you live streamed already. Oh, look, that's awesome that they had the same speakers. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll be working on the those videos. We took a quick listen and watch of them, and there was quite a bit of background noise on them. So we're hoping we can clean that up.
Yeah, in the post-production for the Save the Nation conference and the election dinner.
Make it a little bit more enjoyable to watch them.
Last night was really awesome, American Girl. I got to meet the singer, David Bray, afterwards, and he was hilarious. It was awesome.
He looked like he was fun on stage. He was having a good time.
Yeah. I could see myself going to his concerts. Totally. Sign me up. Because it was cold. It was cold out because the dinner was outside in a tent. So I took off my jacket because I was wearing a dress because it was like, he was too nice looking and not have my dress showing properly, so it was just funny.
You got pictures with quite a few people.
I did. I got pictures with Trevor Loudon, Pastor Haskell, Pastor Locke.
Pastor Locke, he's the pastor from Tennessee, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to rewatch his speech because I missed the first half of it because I was talking to Leah Hoops and Greg Stenstrom, I think is how you pronounce his last name, because I was getting the book autographed. But when I came back to hear Pastor Locke, the rest of his speech, when I came back in, he was on fire. I loved it. I was like, where is his church? Because I'd love to go to his church.
I think Nashville.
Yeah, I was like, darn. I couldn't remember if he was the one from Nashville or not. But
yeah, I think so. Nashville area.
Yeah. It's like, I could totally go there.
It's inspirational for sure.
Yeah.
That's really what nice. You want. You know, you want to be inspired.
I also got pictures with Ambassador Alan Keyes.
He had a very passionate speech, both locations, the church and at the festival.
Yeah. Donna Jackson, I really liked her speech as well. I mean, I liked them all. They were all really good.
Yeah. What was kind of neat is that because you were set up right in the front, they were just literally, you could just almost reach out and touch them.
I know. But because of that, I felt like I had to smile all day. So like my cheeks feel sore. Because I like...
Sometimes I thought they were talking directly to us.
I know! That's what I felt too. It's like they were having a conversation with us. Like they were looking at my camera. It was just funny. Sometimes they were looking at my camera. So like it was really cool. Oh, this is backed up today.
It sure is. Somebody's trying to go across the bridge with a car carrier.
I'm not sure that's going to work. The bridge guy might have stopped them. American Girl says, check out, oh yeah, Freedom Festival, yep, we streamed it. It's not going to be up on YouTube right now though, Ethan, because I had to unpublish it because of YouTube. So check on Rumble. I will link Rumble because it's up on Rumble right now. Give me 1 sec. I will link Rumble here. let's see, can I link my channel?
Yeah, I definitely see somebody up there trying to direct things.
Yeah, if you go there.
It's like the car carrier backed up all the way, and I'm not sure what's going to happen now. Except nobody's moving. I'm guessing they're turning them around.
Yeah, I'm guessing the car carrier's not going to be able to make that turn when they cross the street. I see two officers out on the sidewalk.
See that? The car DRJTBC.
Oh, I'm not sure what that stands for.
Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge.
Cop?
I don't know.
Chapter?
What would the C be? Bridge Commission.
Delaware River Jersey Toll Bridge Commission? I don't know.
Joint Toll Bridge Commission. That could be it.
Are they not letting anybody cross the bridge? Why is everybody coming the other way but not this way? It's weird. But yeah, Alan Keyes was really great. It was really great talking to Trevor Loudon. I've always, I actually have some of his books at home. I actually forgot to bring my book to have him autograph it, which was disappointing. But he was selling one, so I was able to get his one book that I didn't have. And I finally got a copy of Leah Hoop's book, which was nice. Oh, it says weight limit 3 tons, strictly enforced.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he weighs more than 3 tons. He's got 3 cars on his back, so.
What were they thinking?
I don't know. I like this bridge, though. This bridge is cool.
So those fellows working for the Toll Bridge Commission are earning their pay today. Keeping those overweight rascals off the bridge.
Oh, what's an average car? A ton? A little over a ton?
Maybe a ton.
So yeah, just with
Plus or minus?
Plus those, yeah, so you got the cab of the truck trailer, plus 3 cars, so yeah.
Depends on the car.
They look like, kind of like our car, 3 of those, so.
Yeah, I think this car's a little under a ton. 1,800 pounds maybe.
Yeah, but you add in the trailer, the middle of the trailer.
Oh yeah.
So, just cross the canal. Junction.
Yes, that's right. We're on the Pennsylvania side, and that was the Delaware Canal. And here's our friend, Route 611.
Yeah, good old 611.
We were on 611 for a little bit earlier today, way further north at Mount Pocono.
Nice American flags here on the right.
611 used to be a U.S. route number. It got downgraded to state route number years ago.
The birds are really loud right here. You hear them chirping.
Nice and glary.
Yeah, not much I can do about the sun angle, unfortunately.
It's just the direction we're going. Started out sunny, then it got cloudy, then it got sunny again. It's definitely cloudy through a stretch of New Jersey. Even in Pennsylvania, it was starting to cloud up mid-morning.
We'll listen to the church. Church bells.
Says Regalsville, Pennsylvania. 611 North.
I love church bells. John says, good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, John.
Well, we survived another field hockey game. It was a rough one.
We're glad we didn't do stream predictions today because we would have been way off.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It was 1-0. We finally got the shutout, but boy, oh boy. Another game that went right to the wire.
1-0. But that's mainly due to their goalie was really good.
Their goalie's amazing. She's a senior, and she had how many saves this game?
It showed 20 on the scoreboard, but someone told me at the tailgate it actually was 35. So I don't know.
That sounds way too high. But
yeah,
I guess we'd have to look at the stats, the official stats. She saved just about everything.
Yeah, I mean she only let one in. So the scoreboard said 20. We had 27 shots, 18 corners. She had 20 saves. We didn't allow that many corners. At least not when we got there anyway.
No, they didn't get any corners, I don't think.
Yeah, it didn't show any on the board. So I knew we were about a little late. So
they're real happy with the game. They should be, because normally they lose by a lot. So they mobbed the goalie at the end of the game. She had such an amazing game.
Oh, Ethan says my brother plays ice hockey. Oh, nice. We're talking about field hockey, but yeah, ice hockey is cool too. I like watching ice hockey. I like the stone walls along here.
Yeah, this is really scenic. The canal is right to our right, and then there's the river.
There's a little more yellow on this side of the river. On the trees.
Yeah.
I wonder how the colors will be going up to Cornell this Friday. To Ithaca, New York. It'll be nice, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be hitting up through the Poconos again next weekend. On Friday, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe then we'll go to Lake Wallenpaupack. Drive by.
Yeah, I would love to go visit Lake Wallenpaupack in the daytime. Be spectacular on Friday. Yeah, I'm guessing the Poconos will be even better than they was this weekend because it was starting to look really good, but I'm guessing it'll be nicer.
I'm wondering, maybe American Girl knows the answer to this. Do they still generate electricity from Lake Wallenpaupack? in Robsville now.
Here's one of the locks.
Is it?
Yeah, looks that way.
One of the canal locks.
She wrote absolutely 100%, I think, in reference to the leaves. But not 100% sure.
Or to the power generating.
American Girl, are you talking about the leaves or the electric? She says, yes, electric from the lake. Okay, so yes, I guess spectacular for the leaves and
I kind of vaguely remember that you could get a tour. It was a long time ago, though.
oh, the power plant with electric stuff.
I thought so.
Oh, cool.
Well, this is so long ago, it's just in my imagination now.
Maybe back then you could. I saw a really cool one of the houses along the lake when we were heading back to our hotel after dinner that night. American Girl they had these giant inflatable spiders on their roof, and it looked really cool.
Oh, that was along Route 507.
Yeah, it was really cool. Sorry for the glare, guys. We're climbing a mountain. Just happens to be right in the front of the sun.
Yeah, I always remember during the course of the year, the lake level at Wallenpaupack would drop. There wouldn't be as much shoreline in July as there was in August.
Oh, really? From the power plant?
Yeah, because they'd be drawing the water down, generating electricity.
American Girl says, I'm not sure about the tours. Oh, wow, cool spiders. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look it up to see if they do the tours. I don't know. The duck's quacking.
You see him pull the little girl in the wagon, walking the dog at the same time?
At the game today?
No, right here on the road on the left side.
Oh, no. There was one at the game, too. I had two little kiddos with two little doggies. If they do the tours, I want to go, she says. Is that Sir Quackers? Yeah, it's my ringtone. I was having trouble. My dad and I were having trouble telling whose phone was going off. So I decided to set my ringtone to something very obvious, and I set it to the duck ringtone. So he asked me, he's like, was that my phone? I was like, well, did it quack?
Oh yeah, that's right, yours quacks.
Because we have similar phones, so they make the same sound. And sometimes he'll get inundated with work stuff, and he won't know if it's me or him, so, yeah. It was just my friend getting back to me about whether or not they could care for our animals this weekend. And he said yes, that he could do it. So, she's like, smart thinking. Yeah, I didn't really like any of the other ringtones, really. They have other ones you can purchase, but I didn't want to buy ringtones, so.
You were complaining about my alarm ringtones, too.
I don't understand how you had two alarm sounds go off for your alarm clock.
That was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Somehow you had, it's almost like you set a timer and an alarm clock, and they went off at the exact same time. Because I don't know how else you had two ringtones playing at the same time. It was bizarre. It's like it started with one, and then it broke in with another one. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. But that I think was also partially I didn't want to get up either, so.
No, it was early.
It was 6:30. Was 6:30 in the morning? 6:15 in the morning? I don't remember. Not a morning person. More of a night owl.
It's always very stressful because you don't know what your setup is going to be like.
Well, that was the thing. We didn't know what we were going into and the lay of the land because we weren't able to do a dry run. So the hotel was really nice, though. Breakfast was delicious. I like those waffle makers. I haven't had one of those waffles in I don't know how long. Because I know for the last time we stayed in hotels for field hockey games, they didn't have the waffle makers at the ones that we stayed at. It was kind of, if they had anything at all, it was like prepackaged muffins or like pastries or something. You know? Oh, they're doing a hayride.
They are.
Oh, that's so cool.
I saw there was some signage out for things like corn maze.
Nice.
Yeah, a wagon full of people being pulled
I
around.
wonder, how late is Sean's open? Probably too late, I'm guessing.
She's on the quest for her burnt orange mums.
Yeah.
I guess the purple ones didn't make it either.
No, my purple ones got killed by the drought, which is sad.
I didn't give them enough water. Overlooked them.
What are their hours? I'm trying to check on the website. It claims they're open to 7.
7 on a Sunday.
It's Saturday.
You're right. Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, I guess
Sunday's 5.
I guess you could. Yeah, all right. I think I'm thrown off because the event was on a Friday rather than on a weekend.
Yeah, usually the events that we cover are on a Saturday, so yeah.
So kind of one day off in my thinking.
Well, we had a really busy week coming into this weekend too, so. We had the Monmouth game.
Oh, I guess it's wide enough for 2 cars.
Yeah. It's a little narrow, but not too bad.
The line's sort of not painted there anymore, so I don't know.
American Girl says she has burnt orange mums. Oh, jellies. Or as my Australian friends say, jelly.
Here's an interesting question. Can you root mums if you take a clipping?
Yes, you can. I don't know how, everything you have to, I think it's kind of like rooting tomatoes, except it might be a little more complicated. You have to feed it food, maybe.
So that was something I didn't realize you could do too, that you could literally root tomatoes. Because we did that a few times.
Yeah. American Girl says, my mom used to make those waffles. Yum. She's like, I have burnt orange. I would have brought to you. American Girl says, I think today is Sunday. You get excited when I realize that it's Saturday. Yeah, see, we thought, our days are messed up, so don't feel bad.
One more day of the weekend coming up. Yay.
Yeah. Because normally events are on Saturdays. They're not usually Fridays. Because Fridays, that's probably part of the reason there was low attendance at some, not necessarily low attendance, but less attendance. It was a Friday.
Yeah, I wonder how much that's a factor.
That's an all-day event. People had to take off work.
Patriots tend to work for a living,
Yeah. Because I remember hearing people saying they took off work, and I just wasn't registering that one because I was focused on the stream. But yeah, Friday, yeah. They had over 100 people though, which when we went out for quote lunch in the lobby, there was like no room.
Yeah, it was busy.
So like, I'm not sure.
But look at that view.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
That's Blue Mountain way in the distance.
It's not a cloud that time. It was actually a mountain. Because the one day we had a cloud that looked like a mountain. But yeah, the whole lobby was filled with people for lunch. All the lasagna was gone. As the guy in Jurassic Park says, hold on to your butts. Or in this case, the door. Yeah, it is a beautiful view.
It doesn't last long, but when you crest the mountain there, it's pretty nice. Or a hill. I don't know if it's a mountain. It's really just a hill.
Yeah. I think you can root mums. I don't know exactly how you do it. I do remember looking it up though.
I used to plant impatiens, and I'd root them every winter too. So I guess it shouldn't surprise me other things would act like that.
The tomatoes we learned by accident because we broke a tomato once.
We stuck it in water.
Yeah.
It started growing roots.
Yeah. Now we ended up a lot more tomatoes.
Yeah, it didn't have to start from seedling, so it had a jump. It actually went pretty well.
They say that's one way you can increase your tomato harvest tomato plants is plant so many seeds, and then when they start growing, cut off the branches that you're supposed to cut off that we usually never do, and then use those as cuttings to make new tomato plants. Because they say you should cut off the lower branches to keep it growing straight to try to avoid, getting mildew and stuff on the bottom of your plants and blight. American Girl says there was huge turnout today at the event. Yeah, Lourdes said that there would be a lot more people coming out today, which makes sense when you think about it because it's a Saturday.
Well, that's good news.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you, American Girl, because I know you said you were going to bed early last night. I finally got chocolate cake. They had chocolate cake for dinner, dessert. It was really good. So dinner was mashed potatoes, like cauliflower, broccoli, carrot, mixed vegetables. Not my favorite, but it was okay. Salad, which was really, really good. Roast beef and gravy. And
Side salad, did you say?
yeah, I wish I would have grabbed 2 salads actually, because the salad was really good. Because I asked for less. They were trying to give me a heaping thing of potatoes and veggies. I was like, can I just have a little bit? Because I'm not a big fan of mashed potatoes or the veggies. And then they had chocolate cake, which I did take 2. I took a few pieces of that. They were small pieces, but I was like, that looks really good, and they were drowning in it, so I didn't feel too bad grabbing a few. Plus, I grabbed you some.
They wrapped up, I think, a little bit early, which
Was
worked out nice for us because we were pretty tired. I think the event last night was supposed to go to 9:30.
Yeah, but Trevor Loudon had to go to the airport unexpectedly for something, and Leah Hoops didn't really the way they advertised the flyer. It made it seem like Leah Hoops and Greg were going to speak, but it was more like an award ceremony for them. And for what was the other guy's name? Something McClinko. I gotta look it up.
He was the county commissioner.
Yeah.
He sat at our table.
Was it Doug McClintock?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, like all the awards people were at our table. We were at one of
Or we were at their table. I don't know how it worked out, but
we were at the super table, as I call it. At least that's the way I felt. I felt like we were at the special table. The VIPs. We were at one of the VIP tables for sure, because it had the speaker tables all up front.
Yeah.
So John says, now that's a sunny, beautiful sky. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. John says, busy schedule here, but I'll look to catch the replay on Rumble. Yeah, sounds good, John. If you don't get to it, it's okay. I will be posting the revised, edited version with the better sound, hopefully later this week. It's going to take some time because we got to process the audio from the direct feed to the video. Because for some reason, my phone cooler was getting picked up on the mic more than usual, so I have to figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah, so a few days from now, that'd be good timing.
Yeah. American Girl says, we should meet Friday for dessert at Grisham's. And American Girl says, you guys got that table because you guys are VIPs.
So where do you want to go here?
I guess we could...
Are we going home or no?
No. I want to get food. And then,
all right. You're going to get something like a burger?
Yeah. And then I want to look for Mom.
Are you very hungry?
I'm not super hungry.
Just split,
Yeah, I was thinking of splitting.
one of those deals they got, if they still got it, like the two...
2 for $3.50.
whatever they're called.
Yeah.
What is it?
McDoubles.
McSomethings.
McDoubles. I think that's what they're called.
You like the McRib, right?
Yeah.
They haven't had that in a while.
That's seasonal, it seems.
That seems to show up here and there. I know on some trips we've gone where it's like some places will have it. It's not a regular thing though.
No.
So we do this and then we go looking for mums.
Yeah. Mumsies. John says, yes, American Girl, they are VIPs. It was really cool. Last night, I don't know her name off the top of my head. I have her card in my wallet. The presenter, actually, I asked her to just announce that we're live streaming the event because most people didn't know what was going on for dinner as well, because we did the church as well. And she announced it, and then she found out, she was sitting at our table too, and found out more about me, and then she just put a plug in for us, which was really cool, and passed my donation can around, which was really sweet. So.
But we really have to thank Lions for Liberty because they're the ones that made this opportunity possible.
Yeah, without them, I wouldn't have known about the event.
Because it was through them that they asked us if we could do it, and we said yeah. So.
Plan to share some of that with them.
They've created these neat opportunities. Just literally front row seat at the church for these speakers. It's just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, even in Bloomsburg, when we were at front row seats for that, too.
Yeah.
But this one felt way more personal because we were literally, a few steps away.
And even though it's, quote, work, it's stuff that we're just loving to be part of that.
We would have loved to have attended just as a regular person.
Yes.
Even if we weren't, quote, working the event. Because it's stuff that we were interested in. So it's a lot. It's work, but it's also cool and fun. This one was a little easier because we could hear the speakers more and actually hear them live. We didn't have to move stuff or anything as much, so we could actually enjoy it a little bit more. Though I had to. Some of the speakers were moving a lot on stage, which was giving my arm a workout.
You bought Trevor Loudon's book, and he just gave you the book because you said, well, I got to go get the money, right? So
yeah.
So, well, I'll go get the money. He's like, oh, here's the book, right?
Yeah, I went out because I knew he was going to sign, because he had some DVDs too. And he said he was waiting for the box of books. And I was waiting in line to get a picture with him because I really wanted to get a picture with him. And then the book showed up. So then someone's like, oh, can you autograph a book for me? He's like, I will gladly autograph the book. And he says, can you tell me how you want it written out? Because I prefer to write books out to people rather than just signing them. And then once he was done, I introduced myself. And then like, could I get a picture with you? He's like, I'd be honored to get a picture. So I got a picture, and then we were chatting a little bit. And then I said, oh, I want to get one of your books, but I got to go run back and grab my money. And he's like, oh no, I can sign it now. I can write it out for you now. He's like, tell me your name. So I told him, he loved my name. So he's like, it's a Welsh name. And he's like, it's beautiful. So we were chatting. And then that's when I brought one back in. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I went out to pay for the book, and he's busy. He's got people doing stuff and photos and all, and he's got an assistant. And I said to her at one point, my daughter bought a book, so I wanted to pay for it. And he heard this, and he looked over and he said your name. You knew your name.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of a chat.
Yeah. I like the one thing he said that you told me. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if this is exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of, I hope she's not in college or didn't go to college. I said, no, she didn't. It kind of worked out. Because he's pretty much against that with all the indoctrination that goes on.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't want to have your mind poisoned.
Yeah.
I guess you were refreshing for somebody who was younger.
Yeah, because I was talking about the Epoch Times and stuff with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in his books. I was talking about his books as well.
I might have heard his name before, but I think the first interview I heard was on Epoch Times. I think Lee Smith had interviewed him on one of his long-form Over the Target episodes. And I found him very interesting. But wasn't one of his books something like The Enemy Within?
Yeah, The Enemy's Within. There's two of them. One has to deal with Barack Obama, and then the other one, I forget, is also The Enemy's Within, but it's slightly different. Ethan, yes, we ran in the People's Convoy before, and also a few smaller ones. John says, yeah, definitely shout out to Lions for Liberty. Ethan says you were saved in regard to the college comment. Probably skipping that.
Yeah, because I was joking with Mr. Loudon a little bit about how it just saved all that money. It would have been a waste. Plus, now with the school subsidies with these student loan forgiveness programs, it's just even worse.
Yeah, well, I heard the resident in chief was taking some of that back. He's putting all these stipulations on it.
Yeah. I didn't even know he had the authority to do any of it.
Yeah. But for those that don't know, I was supposed to go to college. I had an $80,000 academic scholarship to all 6 of the schools I applied to and got accepted to, including Rochester Institute of Technology up in Rochester, New York. And I was going to play field hockey and everything, but I had a bad ankle injury, which ended up being diagnosed with Lyme disease 6 months later, and it kind of turned my life upside down. Which was unfortunate, but a blessing in disguise, you could say. I definitely 10 out of 10 don't recommend rolling your ankle to red pill yourself. It's not the way to do it.
But reading books is a good way to do it.
Yeah, I was reading a lot of books. I mean, I knew I was very different compared to my peers in school. I stood up for what I believed in and didn't go along to get along like most people, which tended to mean I got bullied.
Yeah, the nonconformist usually does.
Ethan says, my mom works in public school and it's bad. Yeah, it is so bad in public school. Yeah, John says, good mention of the Epoch Times as well. They're great. Yeah, I love them. They have also Epoch TV, which they have a lot of good programs on. My dad can tell you about some of those while I go grab some food. John's like, if you don't like it, there's always the door. Yeah. Ethan says, we were homeschooled. Yeah, that's a good option. I highly recommend people to do that now, especially with how crazy it is. Another option that people can consider, which won't work for everybody, and obviously within the last few years, people will have found out if it worked or didn't work for their families, is cyber school, where you do it online. But it only works for those who are really motivated. So like my local high school was really bad with drugs and alcohol, and I didn't really care for some of the teachers and the whole Mac laptop program that you're going to have to pay to have this laptop that you had to use for classes. So
This was the local high school.
yeah, so like I looked into alternatives. So I actually did high school online because my goal was to get the best scholarship for college, because I knew I wanted to go to college, and for me it worked, but for my brother it didn't work very well. He got distracted by the internet and got into online gaming, and you know how it is. Once you get distracted on the internet, you tend to forget to do your homework. So, but yeah, tell him some about the Epoch Times shows that we watch, because they're really good.
Yeah, I know that Trevor Loudon has done some shows. I don't know the name of it though.
I don't remember his show name, but what I thought was cool is he's in Florida now.
I don't know how long he's been living in Florida. He's originally from New Zealand.
Yeah, I thought that was cool that he's now in Florida. So
yeah, apparently his wife is an American citizen from the Philadelphia area, actually. I think he was mentioning that she still has a house in the Valley Forge area, but apparently he lives in Florida. And I know he's done some programs with Epic TV. I think they were like maybe a once a month kind of a thing. I just remember seeing there were a few of them that were posted online. I haven't actually watched any of them yet, but I'm sure they're going to be pretty good, because I did hear that Lee Smith interview, and that was a few months back. But there's quite a selection of programs. The downside is it's all behind a paywall, so much of it is for a year. I know they keep promoting a 14-day trial, but you probably got to give them some kind of personal information to get that. But it is interesting. You get what I consider to be mostly unbiased reporting, and they tend to lean a little bit to the right, but nowhere near to the right as their reputation has suggested. I think they're pretty reasonable with their reporting. Probably one of the best shows is a relatively short one called Truth Over News. There's two guys that host that show. It's typically maybe a 10 to 15 minute program on some particular topic. I think they do those about twice a week. American Thought Leaders is an interesting show because that's a kind of a long form interview program. They'll have a guest on, can they be anywhere from half an hour to maybe 70, 80 minutes. And they're talking about some particular topics that, the guest has some knowledge about. The show host there, his name's Jan Jekielek. He's a pretty good interviewer, and it's just a pleasant show to listen to or to watch if you like. The nice thing about these shows is you could just play the audio and be doing something else, and pretty much get everything out of it that you would if you were just sitting there watching it. It's really just a bunch of talking heads for the most part. John says, yes, we need truth. Yeah, there's some interesting documentaries that they have out there too. Another one of their reporters, Joshua Phillip, he does a show called Crossroads. He does a bunch of those. Right now he's doing 3 hour-and-a-half shows a week. Plus he's got usually 2 interview shows that are maybe 30 minutes each. So he's got a really busy production schedule. But he will talk about what's going on, current events essentially, for an hour and a half. He does the show live. I think it's maybe 10:30 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. I never catch it live. I only catch it on the replays. But you can actually send in comments. He's got a few regulars that often send him comments, but you can actually try to ask questions about topics when he's doing his hour and a half discussions of various things. American Girl says, yes, John, my friend is going through it with his daughter, first year college. Oh, John had written here, mainstream media is unbelievable and unwatchable today. Yeah, boy, that is so true. As far as we're concerned, we just don't watch it. I suppose we should, because it's good to know who your enemy is. and what the the narratives are. But in reality, I kind of catch a lot of that anyway by listening and watching some of the Epoch TV stuff too, because they always talk about, here's the narrative, here's how it's being portrayed, but here's the truth. That's why I like Truth Over News in particular, because that's pretty hard hitting and it's not a real long show. I'm trying to think who else. Roman. I don't remember Roman's last name, but he has a show called Facts Matter, and it's kind of an irregular thing. I don't know if there's any particular schedule on that right now, but he also talks about topics fairly short. I remember he did a piece on the farmers over in the Netherlands. He actually went over there and interviewed a farmer. So I think he had a couple of programs on that topic. So he does interviews. For the most part, he's usually got a guest on that talks about something. But he does news reporting. There's a whole bunch of other things on there. I know there's some good documentaries. Joshua had done a few documentaries. There's the one about the January 3+3, the real story of that, and that would be something to check into. They show a lot of footage that isn't shown and unedited stuff. Apparently, the mainstream did a lot of editing to. And that's not what the real evidence is suggesting. So, yeah, it's worthwhile. You can check out the free trial, I suppose. Supporting. It turns out that Epoch Times is a non-profit corporation. So, it's not really a for-profit business, compared to the mainstream media outlets. It's not a big company. And they essentially started the TV streaming because they were getting censored. They were doing stuff on social media, and they get a lot of their stuff taken down. I think they just went through a whole round with YouTube, because the YouTube's ratcheted up the censorship. So by having their they can talk about the things that big tech doesn't want you to talk about. John says, so many gave so much to preserve our freedom, and now people want to stand for they don't want to stand for the national anthem. Yeah, that was something that kind of annoyed me with the Princeton field hockey team. We had one player last season that was kneeling, and it really, really bugged me. It's unfortunate. But, just look at where they are, going to school in a place like that where they're getting all that indoctrination. I used to go there thinking, this is a really prestigious place. A lot of great names came out of Princeton, successful people. I've lost a lot of respect for it all with the way that the colleges have been. But yeah, kneeling it just offends me. If you want to protest things, that's fine, but that's not, in my opinion, a proper way to do it. This is just generally disrespectful to everybody. Yeah, facts matter with Roman, says American Girl. I remember he went to Hagerstown when the convoy rolled in, the People's Convoy, back in, February? When they had the unfurling of the big American flag. I think he was there. If it wasn't that night, it was around the different people. And he did a thing. He was with one of the truck drivers. I don't know who it was, but he was riding in their truck doing an interview too at one point. So, I forget how we first found out about them. Gwenny might know. But we started subscribing maybe a year or so, a little more than a year ago. And I'm not a big fan of paywalls, but we decided it was the way to go with this stuff because it's just the content was just too good. And literally we don't watch any of the media, all the alphabet, NBC, CBS, ABC, all those 3-letter plus big news medias. Don't even on the radio, if it's network news time on the radio, if I've got the radio on, I turn it off. I just do a total boycott.
What do we boycott?
Mainstream media.
Oh, yeah.
In all ways possible.
Support the new media.
If it's on the radio, it's top of the hour and the network news is coming on, I'd usually turn it off.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, Fax Meyer with Roman is always good.
American Girl says she was involved with the big flag.
The big one at Hagerstown?
That's what she says, yeah.
Oh,
Because I was
goodness.
talking about that remember Roman had gone to Hagerstown to interview and cover the event?
He missed the big flag, though. He was too busy interviewing people.
Was he there that first night, or was it later?
Yeah, he was there. He was there the first night. They were rolling it up when he was done interviewing people, asking people why they were there.
Yeah.
So, I gotta pour the drinks first. And you can roll.
I know Joshua said he was working on a part 2 to the pandemic. He had done. There was one early on.
Really?
Yeah. There was going to be a follow-up to that.
Hadn't heard about that one.
It's really through them that I started becoming more aware of the problem with the Chinese Communist Party. You don't hear that at all in the mainstream.
No. I used to follow them back in the day, years ago. Like, I'd check out some of their online articles so you can see some of them for free.
And I do remember getting some of their newspapers in the mail. They just would show up in the mailbox.
I guess everybody's gonna park next to us.
Yeah,
now.
they're surrounding us.
Car doors everywhere. Can you even get out of this place?
No, right now I can't. I'm trapped.
We're trapped.
I was gonna just back out of here, but all of a sudden, at least it's not the FBI with what they did to
Everybody else. We have hoops in them.
the Pillow Man. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Hardee's drive-thru, and they blocked him in.
Yeah, that's terrifying that they did that.
So I just need somebody to pull up. Almost. I mean, he's kind of blocking me there.
Well, it's kind of like that one day when they had the whole drive-thru torn apart and you were like stuck.
Yeah.
Couldn't get out because of construction.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I was gonna back out, but somebody's coming in, and this just came right up on top of me anyway, even when my backup lights were on. So it's like, oh well.
American Girl says it was amazing, beyond amazing. Yeah, I bet. I wanted to be there that night, but that was the night. That was the day that we were at Hershey, and we were seeing Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Brian Artis, Steve Kirsch from MIT, who graduated from MIT. And Attorney Tom Renz showed up as a surprise guest.
And that was a Lions for Liberty event.
Yeah. That's how we met Lions for Liberty, actually. That's how I met Ken. Because I actually found that out through Free PA. Because Tabitha is the one who shared about it. It's like, a chance to meet, Peter McCullough. I was like, oh, once in a lifetime chance to meet him. Sign me up. Dr. McCullough is my hero.
Yeah. Had a novel idea. treat people when they're sick.
And early treatment, preventative treatment. So the burgers got extra additives because I ordered it special. So it's got lettuce and tomato, but it makes it messier. Just so you know.
The ideal fast food joint. Burger King burgers and McDonald's fries.
Yeah. Except Burger King doesn't make their burgers hot enough, in my humble opinion. They can make them fresh like Wendy's.
They're the only fast food place that I noticed that their places go out of business.
Burger Kings, yeah.
So it's 412 South. We're going to take a back way over to Center Valley.
She's like, I don't blame you. That sounds exciting. Yeah, it was beyond exciting. I got to literally meet him, shake his hand, tell him he's my hero. He gave me a hug, which was cool. And then I was kind of in shock because I wasn't expecting it, how it went down. So then, like, when I saw that other people were getting pictures with him, I was like, I gotta get a picture with him. I just have to. So I actually have a picture of myself with all the speakers. I got McCullough, and then I also got Brian Artis, Kirsch, and then Renz. So I forget which one was in it that I did the two, because two of the guys were in it with me. And
oh boy.
he called me the shorty but cutie. It was funny. Because he put me in the middle, because they were both taller than me. But I don't remember. I think it was I think it might have been Brian and Renz, but I'm not 100% sure.
There's another one.
Another what? Oh,
A yard full of signs.
Yeah.
Signs for the wrong candidates.
Yeah. Well, not everybody's awake, so.
So next stop, Mom's.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
Well, we don't know if we're going to get lucky. I wonder if they're going to have the giant pumpkin. Or if they're not doing... I don't know if they always have a giant pumpkin.
I don't know. A couple times we were there, but years ago they had a big pumpkin on display.
No.
One of those 1,000-pounders.
Yeah, that was big.
I guess it was an attraction. I don't know how much a 1,000-pound pumpkin costs.
I wonder how they pick it up without damaging it. But I always wonder. American Girl says, so cool. You know how I feel. I feel your excitement. We live for the love of helping everyone. Yeah. Try to help people. Sometimes you can only guide them in the right direction, though. They don't want to help themselves, and you can only do so much. Place back there was selling USDA lamb and goat. I think is what it said. And
did you say
zucchinis.
goat?
That's what it looked like. Or just, I don't know. Maybe I misread it. Maybe I meant to say goat milk. Maybe.
Maybe.
It looked like they ran out of room on their sign. This is where we turn, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Jean Lane on one direction and Saucon Valley Road the other. That guy's having a bad day. He apparently thought going through the woods means, you should drive however fast he was driving.
He just wants his freedom. Freedom from having to go so darn slow behind me.
I mean, the speed limit's only 35, so. It's not like it's meant for faster. I guess that puts him in line for our Driver of the Day award.
Yeah. I'd say he's up there.
Though we had two on Route 1 earlier that were eligible.
On Route 1?
Yeah. They passed us on the right in the shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that guy beats both of them. Our Driver of the Day award goes to the person who does the most aggressive and jerkish driving incident of the day.
Now, if I provoke him, then that's not fair. But I wasn't trying to provoke him. I wasn't driving slow deliberately to slow him down. I don't believe him doing that, actually.
Yeah. Remember, says, I drive the speed limit or slightly under if I feel safety's priority. Yeah, like if the guy's tailing you and you might hit a deer or something, like,
Sorry about that.
you have to go slower.
Well, sometimes I have slowed down if it's at night.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
And
at
somebody's
night,
right up on me,
in the woods.
and I'm concerned that it could be a deer jumping out in front of me. Then I might actually slow down a little bit, because my concern would be that I got to hit my brakes all of a sudden because a deer jumps out on the road, and
Get rear-ended.
yeah, it's not so much, just to slow them down. It's like, no, you're actually slowing me down by following me too close.
Yeah. In this case, the guy just didn't want to go to the speed limit. So I said he thought, going through through the woods. Back roads meant, go highway speeds.
Well, admittedly, I don't know that road that well.
This might be the first time we're taking it in the daytime. I think the other times we've gone through here, it's in the dark.
Big cemetery. There's been a lot of development in this area in the last 10 years. Saucon Valley area. South Mountain straight ahead.
Joshua. Joshua says it's going to be dark soon enough.
Yeah.
Is your wife feeling better? I know you said she was in the hospital. Hope she's feeling better.
$93 million miles and we'll be at the sun.
Yeah. I don't think I packed my spacesuit in the trunk. But yeah, it is getting dark. Oh, she's still at the hospital. Bummer.
Well,
Sorry to hear that.
That's not good news. So I guess we'll take this to 309. And we'll take 309 across South Mountain.
On the search for mums.
Yeah, go to Dan Shantz.
Support the local.
Dan Shantz Nursery. Yeah, it is a local place. Big place.
Yeah.
Been around for a long time.
That's where we got my white one and my yellow one from. And my maroon one, I guess it is.
They used to be a little further up on Lehigh Street than they are now. They were on the other side of the road, I think, closer to Emmaus. I don't remember too much about that place. I'm guessing they expanded.
Joshua says, uh-oh, spacesuit would have come in handy. Yeah. I can think of a few things that would come in handy going into space. Some radiation protection would have been good.
Yeah, you get exposed to a lot more radiation out of the atmosphere.
Once we leave the comfortable terrarium of Earth, you get exposed to all the radiation with no atmosphere.
Even flying in an airplane, it's a lot higher. But a lot higher is still relatively low.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to be an astronaut. The G-forces alone would make me sick.
you're up in space up here, on the sunny side it'll be too hot, and on the shady side it'll be too cold.
I'm trying to remember, how many times do they go around the planet in a day? In the ISS?
I don't know. They're not. Are they in low Earth orbit? I think they are.
I
But
think they see multiple sunrises and sunsets.
it depends on how high you are. I think if you're in low Earth orbit, it could be about 90 minutes to go all the way around.
Oh, wow. That'd be a lot of sunrises and sunsets. You definitely want to bring your sleeping mask then.
Let's do the math. I think 17,500 miles an hour is the speed you need to maintain orbit. And the circumference of the Earth is 25,000. But you're also up 100 miles or so I guess circumference is a little bigger. Yeah, 90 minutes seems about right. Got to go about 25,000 miles per hour to get out of Earth orbit completely. But the higher up you are, the less speed you need, because gravity's weaker the further away you get. All those geosynchronous satellites that are out there for communications, they're going around once a day.
Very true.
So that's why they're always in the same spot. They got the same angular rotation as the Earth does itself. But you got to be up there pretty far. I think it's about 44,000 miles up. That you can go slow enough that you can just do it in one day, go around the Earth. Still pretty fast.
Is this our exit or is it the next one?
Next one. You could get off here, but it's going to be easier to get off at Lehigh Street.
That's right. I'm not used to getting off at either one.
They say Emmaus Avenue, but it's only spelled with one M. I remember my relatives calling it Emos Avenue. So maybe that was the correct way.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's like Newfoundland is sometimes called Newfoundland.
Yeah, American Girl told us. Said it wrong all these years. The land of the 25-mile-an-hour speed zone.
Yeah.
So now we're in the Lehigh Valley, on the north side of South Mountain.
doesn't say anything about the giant pumpkins, so I wonder if they don't have it this year.
Maybe not. It might have been a tough year for pumpkins with the dry weather.
I mean, look at the drought. We barely got any. And the one pumpkin we did get got wormed. For something. Something drilled a hole into it. Are they gonna stop?
Eventually.
Watch out. I'm just trying to run the light.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
There's the big greenhouse. Man. Pumpkins and mums, gourds and fall mums. Mums. I'm going to say fall bulbs. 8-inch mums, $5.99 or 4 for $20. 9-inch, $6.99 or 4 for $24. Lots of mums and other flowers. Oh, baby pine trees.
This good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it certainly doesn't seem busy right now.
No.
They got a lot of stuff here, so it is kind of fun to walk around and look at it all.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream and go check out the greenhouse and see what we can find. Hopefully I'll find some mums.
Oh, you'll find mums all right. Question is, it's going to be the right color.
Yeah, that's... Well, I meant mums that I want to buy, you know. But,
Pumpkin pie?
yeah, those were at that other place in Hellertown.
Yeah.
That went out of business. I can't think of the name of that place.
They were called Neighbors.
Ah, that's what it was. Neighbors Farm and Garden or something.
Yeah, the governor killed him.
Yeah. Not his business, not him literally.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
All right. We'll catch you guys in a little bit. We're going to go check out the garden center.